Hi, today we're going to talk about you creating your best life. Like, we really get to create our life. We are the creators. No one else is. Hey, Jennifer Faye, I saw you earlier. And Jennifer is creating her best life. I'm watching her unfold into that. She's doing the work to create her best life. So I'm so glad she's on because she might have some things to add. So if we are all in charge of creating our best life, then why do we choose sometimes these lives of pain, of heaviness, of intensity? What's up with that? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So Jennifer Faye, aloha. Aw, thank you. You're welcome. All right. So where do we in our bodies, in our beings, where do we create? Well, our creative center is here in our pelvic bowl. So this makes sense because this is where we procreate. This is where we create children. It's where our creative organs are. But we also create our lives. Like, this is where our gifts and talents lie, right here in this pelvic bowl. And it's our emotional center. And it's the place that we begin to connect to ourselves and others. So what we know is to create our life, we connect with our gifts and talents and really, really own them. Oh, hey, Natasha. And so what are your gifts and talents? That's always the first question because lots of people don't even know the answer to that. But I happen to know that a couple people that are on here today, they know. Like, Jennifer Faye is an amazing artist. She creates beautiful paintings. And then Natasha, who's also on here, creates these amazing sculptures with bird wings that I happen to own one, and I'm so pleased because she gifted it to me, and I really, really makes my heart so happy just looking at it. And so when we own our gifts and talents, then we can create our best life. But that we have to do that. We have to own it. Now, what stops anyone out there from owning their gifts and talents? Because I get the answer when I ask people, what is your gift? What is your talent? A lot of people don't even know. There's a hesitancy. And we cannot create our best life if we don't full on know our gifts and talents and own them. We have to do that. And gifts and talents were just given to us by the universe. It's so amazing. We didn't even have to work for them. It's the thing that you just do that's so simple for you. It just flows. Thanks, Natasha. Rainbows and unicorns and hearts. Yeah, so owning your gifts and talents is a must to creating your best life. And if you are struggling with that question, then sit with it. Write down what you're really good at. Ask others around you to give you feedback. Like, what do you think my gift is? What do you think my talent is? And if you're not struggling with knowing what it is, then go do it. Like, I know a lot of people too that know their gifts and talents. Like, my daughter is an amazing singer. She has perfect pitch, and she used the heck out of her talent when she was a young girl. She was on stage any opportunity she could, belting it out. Now she doesn't use it. Not much anyway. And it's really hard for me to watch that because I know that you cannot have your best life until you are owning your gift and talent and using it. So what stops us from using it? Usually there's a mixture. We are not fully emotionally literate. In fact, most of us aren't. Most of us struggle with emotions. And to create our best life, we have to have the full range of emotions. And because our culture was more masculine in the last 5,000 years, that's what got honored. We lost a lot of the feminine, which is the feeling. So the masculine right side of our body is the thinker, left side feminine is the feeler. We've got to come back into feeling our feelings fully, all the way from depression, from depression, all the way up to joy. The full range of emotions. We are meant to know them and feel them. Let's see. Yay, Natasha. So we've got 2 ingredients now. Own your gifts and talents, feel your feelings, and then the last ingredient to creating an amazing life is connecting to others. So you take your gifts and talents and you bring them out to others with feeling, with passion, with the sense that, I'm going to feel my way into who I need to connect with. I'm going to feel my audience. I'm going to feel who it is I'm meant to vibe with, and I'm not going to take it personally when people don't want to vibe with me. And the more that I'm just vibing out there in the way that's authentic for me, using my gifts and talents, feeling my feels, then I'm going to create around me the people that really get me and honor me and love what I'm doing and are willing then, because also in this space of the pelvic bowl, we hold money, are willing to exchange with me my gift and talent for energy coming back into me. Because we can't just give, which is the right side of our body, and without receiving. And so we have to make that full circle. And then we have our best life. It's so awesome. The only reason I can say anything about this at all is because over the last, I was walking around for several years saying, I don't know, which was completely new for me not to know, because I had created my best life before, but there were some things that were missing and I wanted more, and I wanted to, and this is the thing too, keep working on it, keep allowing it to morph. So I kept working on it and morphed it from a yoga therapy studio in Dallas to a yoga retreat center here in Hawaii. And then it just wasn't quite right. And other people come in and give you lessons. I love that. Like, things come out of people's mouths, you make connections, things pull apart, things come back together. And it's a beautiful process as long as you keep focusing on wanting to create your best life. And then allow everything to happen and allow the messages to come in, allow things to fall apart and be recreated in a different way. That's what happened to me. Because as I created what I thought was my next best life, the retreat center, it was too much work for me. I was overwhelmed and I didn't have enough support. And so when I allowed that to fall apart, then again, out of the mouths of other people came this beautiful message: put your practices online. I was like, whoa, brilliant. I'd already tried that 4 years earlier and just put it away, because the technology 4 years before I put it online was not great. Now, so much better. And so once I did that, whoa, now I am living my best life. So I can talk about it. But between where I was, the retreat center, and where I am now, I went into the space of the unknown, had to get on my mat, my ass on my mat every day for me to discover what was blocking me from knowing where to go, what to do, what the next steps were. And it was all in my pelvic bowl that was all bound up. And so I really focused for a while on opening my pelvic bowl. And yes, then it all started to flow and all come together. So if you have any questions, let me know. Jennifer Faye. Oh, yes, for connection. So important. Loving this conversation. Yay, I'm so glad you guys are on. Yeah. So I want to say one thing before we go into a movement. Because before I kind of fell apart and let my retreat center go, and then in that in-between space where I was walking around with I don't know, that was an important part of the process. And in that space of not knowing, I got over people pleasing. I didn't really care if people got me or not. I didn't really care if people judged me or not for the way I was doing anything. It didn't matter to me anymore. And that was so important, because prior to that, I was trying to make everybody happy, and it was wearing me out. And I'd been trying that for 30 years, not just overnight, not just a couple days, like years and years. So that process of getting into I don't know, which I've watched Jennifer Faye go into, is so, so vitally important, because what we've been hanging on to and what we created, same thing. So I created what I was hanging on to in the past, and a lot of what I was hanging on to is pleasing others. And so I created a yoga studio that had elements of all my best life in it, but wasn't quite there because of this people-pleasing thing. And then when I did my retreat center, same thing on steroids, because then people not only came to my classes and my teacher trainings and my retreats and my workshops, but they spent the night, or they stayed with me, nights with me, and I fed them. And whoa, then it was like so many aspects that I had to get right for others, which, no wonder I fell apart, right? Best thing that ever happened to me. Get that. All right. So hey, Patty, glad you're here. Jennifer Faye. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it when you're in it, but that middle transition part is where the gold is. Oh, for sure. Yeah, Natasha, let's see some of your paintings. I think you're saying that to Jennifer, because I don't have any that I painted. All right. So how do we, in our bodies, break apart these things, like where I found people pleasing hooking me up from sharing my gifts and talents fully, connecting to others fully, and feeling my feelings fully? Because our feelings will guide us as long as there's not a block in there. So we have to work on our pelvic bowl. So the pose that I want us to do today is Pigeon. And the reason that I love Pigeon is that it breaks apart two essential blocks in the creative center: control in our butt cheeks and fear in our iliopsoas. So get out your mat and join me, and let's do a pigeon. So I'm just going to back up so you can see me, and I'm on all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. I'm rolling my inner arms out, and I'm lifting my ribs up and in so I have neutral lower back. I'm not really rounded like a Halloween cat, but I'm definitely not giving in that lower back. In fact, I never recommend anyone giving their lower back. We do that too much and it hurts lower back vertebrae. Now head and neck just loosen free. And just give it a good shake out. Doing the chihuahua can help us so much to releasing some of that stuck stuff, right? Because a good shakeout, which my chihuahua does all the time, like she'll get scared by something and she just like, oh, shakes it out and then goes along her way. And that's what we need to do too. Shake it out. All right, once you've given it a good shakeout, then take your right heel to the outer edge of your left knee. And then walk your left leg back until you're as deep as you can be into pigeon, meaning this butt cheek, this side, so my right leg's forward, is on the floor as much as it can. Now, if it can't go there, like and your knee is hurting or it's just uncomfortable, you can take a block, a pillow, something, and put it under your butt. And that'll support the knee and make it a little more comfortable for you. So once you're here, get those ribs in. So your tail is down. You're not giving in that lower back. You've got length through there. Head and neck loose and free. And as I stay here, just as I open, I keep walking that back leg back. So as I'm here, I'm releasing fear of others in my right butt cheek. Control of others in my right butt cheek, and fear of myself in my left front of my leg, my left iliopsoas. I need one of those things in the middle of the table that turns, Lazy Susan, I think. Right there, that's my left iliopsoas. That's where I hold fear of myself. So I just stay here and breathe, and when I get tired, I can drop down to my elbows. I can let my head and neck go and just shake it out. And I breathe out the fear of myself, and I breathe out the control of others. And that will start me on this path to creating my best life. Because as long as I hold onto fear of myself, I'm not going to own my gifts and talents. I'm probably not going to feel the full range of emotions. And I'm more than likely not going to connect deeply with you. As long as I'm controlling you, I'm not connecting deeply with you, right? I don't want to hear what you have to say. As long as I'm controlling you, I'm probably afraid of myself, and that's the reason I'm doing it. As long as I'm controlling anything, I'm not feeling that full range of emotions, and I'm not going to create my best life. So breathe fear and control out. Until you feel a lightness. And when you do, you come up on your hands. I just lift myself up, walk my front leg back and my back leg forward. Then I'm back to all fours, roll my inner arms out, get my ribs up and in, drop my head and neck and give it a good shake out. And it may be just here where you're starting to feel like, whoa, something's changing for me. So even if you've got, I'm going to stop in the middle, you can just sit back for a second. Even if you've got your thing going and you feel like you're on it, do these practices. Like I work on my pelvic bowl every day, because you know what starts to come back in when I am least working on it? My people pleasing. So we can't ever really stop these practices, and we can't really ever say, oh, I got it. All right. So from here, I'm on all fours, rolling my inner arms out, ribs up and in, head and neck loose and free. I'm going to take my left heel to the outer edge of my right knee and walk my right leg back. Oh yeah, just as far as I can. Again, grab a block and put it under your butt if you need to. Now that I'm here, I keep walking that back leg back. I'm releasing controlling myself. If I control myself, I am controlling my feelings. So controlling myself means controlling my inner world, my feelings, my intuition. I do not want to do that. I want my guidance system, my emotional guidance system, to be fully operational, because it will guide me to go where I need to go, to talk to who I need to talk to feel my way into my life versus think my way. And feeling is really the only way to go, because we've thought a lot, and look what we're doing to our planet and to ourselves, right? Not so good. All right, and then at the same time, I'm releasing fear of you, of others. My people pleasing was all about fear, like you weren't going to like me. So I've had to do a lot of work on that. All right. And just let it go, and you probably do too. Now when you get tired, just drop the elbows, let your head and neck hang, and just feel it. Allow that pelvic bowl to open up, because it contains everything that you need to make your dreams come true, to create your best life. And that's why you're here. So you might as well do it, all right? When you're ready to come out, come up on your arms, walk your back leg back, your front leg back, your back leg forward, And just shake it out a bit. Oh, feels so good. And just sit up when you're ready. So awesome. All right, now a couple other things. Well, actually one. I'm giving you this week a whole practice on creating your best life. So do it. And I'm also going live, Ageless, Move More, live tour. I'm going to be in Neptune, New Jersey, real near Bruce Springsteen, who I love. So that makes my heart just open wide. I'm like, woohoo! And a lot of you are already joining me, and I'm so excited about that. But I have a few more spaces open. If anybody else wants to jump in, let me know. Just go to my website and go under Move More, Michelle Live, and Create Your Best Life will come up, and you can sign up. I'm so excited to meet some of you in person, and also to reconnect with some of you that I already know. It'll be so much fun. And we're going to work together on all of these areas, releasing fear, so that we can really own our gifts and talents. Releasing control, so that we can feel our feelings. And then one thing I haven't talked about, inner leg, releasing anger, so that we can really connect to one another. So join me live if you can, and I'm excited to see some of you that have already signed up live. And in the meantime, you have this little mini Create Your Best Life practice on Ageless Movement, Move More. So check out your practices. Any questions? Let's see. Wyatt, I was 30 years old before I stopped living my life to impress my dad. I know, right? Yeah, mine started probably with my dad too. I understand that one. Let's see. Pigeon. Yay, love Pigeon. Pose, I'm sitting at a desk. Oh, at work. Wyatt, I got you covered. You can do this on a chair. You can say hi to Lola while we're here. Let's see if I can get these pillows far enough away so you can see me. So I'm just here on my couch. So I just throw my leg up, walk it over. You can do this on a desk too, and walk this back leg back. So you can see that back leg is on the floor. So you can do that. I do this all the time. I do this in airports all the time. And if I can find a space on an airplane, I'll do it, because sometimes those jump seats that the airline people sit in are available, and you can use that and have enough space to walk your leg back. I've done it. You can do it too. But this is a way to do it at work. So Wyatt, got you covered there. Let's see. Valerie, yay, Patty. My pelvis is rotated again. Will this help? Yes. Yes, it will even out your pelvis. So that's the other thing is that we get when we're in fear of others, controlling ourselves, we get these wackadoodle pelvic misalignments. So yeah, do it. Let's see. Hi, April. Good to see you. White Nash, can you say the address again? My schedule changed, so I won't be in Japan during the New Jersey Roadshow. Neptune, New Jersey. Go onto my website and go under Move More, Michelle Live. All the information will be there. Just press on Create Your Best Life, and that'll have the exact address. But Neptune, New Jersey. Woo-hoo. Let's see. Jennifer Faye, the wisdom bundle is amazing. Oh, yes. I have this Ageless Wisdom Practices online. It's like 10 practices for whatever feeling you're stuck in. And you can go in there, like if you're depressed, and do this little 10 to 15 minute practice that will pull you out of your depression. And if you're angry, same thing, pessimistic, feel guilt. There's 10 practices there for different emotions that we commonly get caught up in. So thank you, Jennifer Faye. Anger is one of my favorite practices. All right. Hi, Lola. Oh, sweet trick when I'm in my studio. Yes, I actually done that. on stairs. Didn't realize it was called Pigeon. Now you know. All right, Patty, so excited to see you in Neptune. Me too, and I hope whoever else wants to join. It's September 7th, 2019, Neptune, New Jersey, 1 to 5 p.m. We are going to be spending 4 hours on this, and it's awesome. I've already taught it in Dallas. They were my guinea pigs, and it was really, really great. So I hope to see some of you there. Thank you so much for catching me live, and those of you who've missed it and will catch me later, I'll see you in a bit. All right, bye.